Excuse me. So today is Kind Reading Friday, and we will continue to read some German. It's pretty good. Sorry, I'm eating because I haven't ate all day. I think my German is pretty good. I mean, it's definitely not native, but yeah. So we're on, I think, the second page. I'm trying to remember where we stopped. Okay, so the husband wanted to get her flowers because this lady had to have salad because she would die. She was being very dramatic. And the husband goes and he gets the food, but then the witch who is there says, oh, she's a sorceress. Okay, so then the sorceress' anger abated, and she said to him, "If matters are as you say, I'll allow you to take along as many rampions as you like, but I make one condition. You must give me the child your wife will give birth to. It will be well treated, and I'll care for it like a mother." And I just want to know what that is in German, so let me try to find it. Apparently in German, they don't have quotation marks. It's little arrows. So I'm trying to find it. Okay, I found it. The hartes Schicksal, sorry, we do sauce. I have to switch to that language because I was speaking English earlier. So give me a second. Wie du sagst. So will ich der Gestatten Rapunzeln mitzunehmen, so will du willst, allein ich mache eine Bändigung. Du musst mir das Kind geben, das deine Frau zur Welt bringen wird. Es soll ihm gut gehen und ich will für es sorgen wie eine Mutter. Sorry, I destroyed that language. Oh, Lord. And let's see what else happens. So in his dread, the man agreed to everything, and when his wife went into confinement, the sorceress immediately appeared, gave the child the name Rampion, and took it away. So her name is Rapunzel in German. I'm not reading everything because this is exhausting to do for me, and that goes for everything that requires you to switch sides of your brain. I have no backing, but I assume because language is language left? I don't remember, but anyways, you have two sides of your brain. So Rapunzel, lass mir dein Haar herunter. Rapunzel hat lange prachtige. Oh God. All right, I'm just going to read the English part. I'm sorry. Rampion had splendid long hair, as fine as spun gold. Whenever she heard the sorcerer's voice, she unwound her braids and wrapped them around the casement handle up there, and then her hair descended 20 ells down, and the sorceress climbed up it. After a few years, it became about about that a king's son was riding through the forest and passed by the tower. He heard singing so lovely that he stopped and listened. It was Rapien, who in her loneliness was passing the time by letting her sweet voice be heard abroad. The prince wanted to jump up to her and looked for a door to the tower, but there was none to be found. He rode home, but the singing had touched his heart so tenderly that he went out into the woods to listen every day. Once, while he was standing behind a tree that way, he saw a sorceress arrive and heard her shout, Rampion, Rampion, let down your hair. And I want to read that in German. Hold on. Never mind. Those are really hard words. Let's move on. Then Rampion let her braids down, and the sorceress climbed up to her. If that's the ladder by which people get up there, I'll try my luck too. And this is actually quite short. Interesting. Rampion, Rampion, let down your hair. At once the hair descended and the prince climbed up. At first, Rampion was terribly frightened at seeing a man come in, a man unlike any other her eyes had ever seen. But the prince began to speak to her, quite amiable, can't say the word, telling her that his heart had been so affected by her singing that it gave him no peace and he had to see her in person. Then Rampion was no longer afraid, and when he asked her whether she would accept him as her husband, and she saw that he was young and handsome, she thought, he will love me more than old Lady Gothel does. She consented and placed her hand in his. She said, I will gladly go with you, but I don't know how to get down. When you visit me, bringing along a skein of silk each time. Oh, she's telling him what to do. I'll braid a ladder out of it, and when it's ready, I'll climb down, and you'll lift me onto your horse. They agreed, and until that time, he would visit her every evening, because the old woman came by day. And the sorceress noticed nothing of this until one time Rampion opened the conversation by saying, Please tell me, Mother Gothel, how is it that you're becoming much harder to pull up than the young prince who's with me in a minute? Oh man, she let it slip. Oh, you wicked child, shouted the sorceress. What is this I hear? I thought I had isolated you from the whole world, and you've tricked me. In her anger, she seized Rampion's beautiful hair, wrapped it around her left hand, a couple of times grasped a pair of scissors in her right, and snip, snip, it was cut off, and her beautiful braids were lying on the floor. And she was so merciless that she brought poor Rampion into a wilderness where she was forced to live in great sorrow and want. But on the evening of the same day that she had cast out Rampion, the sorceress tied the cut-off braids firmly to the casement handle, and when the prince arrived and called, Rampion, Rampion, let down your hair, she let down the hair. The prince climbed up, but at the top he found not his darling Rampion, but the sorceress who glared at him with evil, poisonous eyes. Aha, she shouted scornfully. You want to fetch Miss Darling, but the pretty bird is no longer on her nest, and she isn't singing anymore. The cat got her and is going to scratch out your eyes too. Dang. These Germans don't play. Rampion is lost to you. You'll never see her again. The prince was beside himself with sorrow, and in his despair he jumped down from the tower. He got off with his life, but the thorns that he fell into pierced his eyes. Jesus. Then he roamed blindly through the forest, eating nothing but roots and berries, and doing nothing but lamenting and weeping over the loss of his beloved wife. He wandered around in misery that way for a few years, and finally arrived in the wilderness where Rampion eked out of a poor existence, along with the twins that she had borne, a boy and a girl. They didn't mention that she did the naughty stuff with this prince. The heck? I mean, I would too if I was trapped in a tower and some hot guy came. But anyways, Rampion recognized him, embraced him, and wept, but two of her tears moistened his eyes, which healed again, and he could see out of them the way he used to. He led her to his kingdom, where he was given a joyous reception, and they lived in happiness and contentment for a long time afterwards. Well, that's a good ending. I think I like that story better than the Disney one. Of course, Disney always changes the original. They've changed so many fables and stories. Not saying that I don't like Disney. I like their stories, but there's something about like German fables that are kind of more interesting. They're pretty good. Yeah. Sorry about my German. My brain just doesn't want to switch today, so like I can't put the effort into pronouncing the German. But that was an interesting story. I hope you have a good Friday. I'm ending this really short because it's Friday. And I want to do something fun. I mean, this is fun, but I'm going to do something somewhere. Yeah. My brain hurts. Bye.